Thinking about moving to Fort Worth? Let's talk about what it actually costs to live here. Hi, I'm Oriana, your real estate bestie here in the Fort Worth area, and I help people figure out not just where to live, but what it's really like here day to day. Today, I'm breaking down the real cost of living so you can actually decide if it actually fits your lifestyle. Because here's the truth, a place can look perfect online, great homes, nice neighborhoods, lower prices than other cities, but if the monthly cost of living doesn't make sense for you, it's not going to feel like a good move. So let's break it down in a simple, real way. Let's start with the biggest one, housing. In Fort Worth, home prices are still more affordable than a lot of major cities, but they've definitely gone up over the past few years. And Fort Worth is huge, truly. So prices really depend on specific neighborhoods. Right now, depending on the area, the condition, and the size, you'll typically see around mid 200,000s to low 300,000s for smaller or older homes. 350 to 500 range for more updated move-in ready homes, and 500 plus for larger homes, newer builds, or top areas. And of course, there are luxury options as well above that. Now, let's talk monthly payment. Depending on your price point, down payment, and what kind of loan you have, most buyers are landing somewhere between $2,100 and $3,500 per month. That includes taxes and insurance. If you're renting instead, one-bedroom apartments around $1,100 to $1,500 a month. Two bedrooms around $1,400 to $2,000 a month, and houses for rent also between $2,000 and $3,000 depending on the location and the size. Next up, utilities. This is something people moving from other states always ask about. In Fort Worth, utilities can fluctuate a lot because of the weather. Hot summers equal higher electric bills, but even in the winter, if your heater is electric and you like to keep your house warm, like I do, you'll pay more. On average, electricity is $120 to $250 a month, water, trash, $80 to $150 a month, and internet $60 to $100. So most households are spending around $250 to $400 a month on utilities. You also have to consider transportation. Fort Worth is definitely a city where you need to drive. Like I said earlier, it's a huge city. There are more than 50 zip codes in Fort Worth, and driving from one part of the city to another can take up to an hour depending on traffic. So transportation costs matter. Gas prices are usually lower than the national average, but you'll likely be driving daily unless you work from home. So you'll want to factor in, of course, gas, $100 to $250 per month depending on your commute. Car insurance can be higher in Texas too, often $150 to $300 a month. Public transportation exists kinda, but not really, so most people are gonna rely on a car. Keep that in mind. Groceries in Fort Worth are pretty average compared to the rest of the country. For one person, around $300 to $500 per month. For a family, $600 to $1,200 depending on your lifestyle. My family consists of me, my husband, and our 3-year-old daughter, and we spend right around $1,000 a month on groceries. And of course, we like to eat out too. Fort Worth is a good mix of affordable options and nicer restaurants, so it just depends what you're spending there. One of the biggest pros of living in Texas, no state income tax, which can make a big difference in your monthly take-home pay. But the state has to make money somehow, so property taxes are higher. In Fort Worth, you'll typically see property taxes around 2% to 2.7% depending on the area, so that's something to factor into your monthly payment if you're going to be buying a house. If you have kids, this is a big one. Daycare here costs around $900 to $1,500 per month per child. Right now, I'm paying around $800 a month for my toddler, but I only have her going part-time, twice a week. And of course, kids are always involved in some sort of activity, and those costs can add up quickly. But the good thing is, Fort Worth is very family-friendly, which is one of the reasons why I love it so much. So what does this actually look like monthly? For a typical household, around $3,000 to $6,000 per month, for all that stuff depending on your lifestyle, housing choices, and of course, your spending habits. So, is Fort Worth affordable? The honest answer is, it depends. Compared to cities like California, New York, or Austin, yeah, it's still more affordable. But compared to what it used to be, it's definitely gotten more expensive in recent years, just like the rest of the country for the most part. That's why it's so important to not just look at home prices, but to look at your full monthly picture, because the goal isn't just to move, it's to move somewhere that actually feels comfortable financially. If you're thinking about moving to Fort Worth and want help figuring out what your real numbers would look like, I'm putting all my contact info below, plus a link to schedule a quick call with me. I can help you map out based on your situation so you can move forward with confidence. And before you go, if you wouldn't mind hitting that bell to subscribe so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching.